Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our VC for Care of Mother, Child, Adolescent. So, um, last meeting, we discussed about the family. Okay, so review muna tayo. Let's have a review of what we discussed last meeting about the family and definition of family before we go deeper into the discussion of the functions and behavior of a family. So family is a very important social institution. Okay, so remember, one of the definitions given about the family is that it is the basic unit of a society. So it is generally accepted that the family is the first and oldest social institution in society. The family is consists of parents and children who interact with one another. So later we will have a review of the different structures of family or types of family based on different categories. Through this socialization process, parents are able to hand down socially accepted cultural practices that serves as initial training for the young to become future responsible citizens. So a family also refers to a group of people united by ties of marriage, blood, or adoption. So if like for example, the family, yung married couple couldn't have children of their own. So it's either they resort to adoption or surrogacy. Okay, so as a group, the members of the family live together under one roof and that they constitute a single housekeeping unit. So it is a universal institution that has the following common characteristics. Okay, number one, associate with one another in their respective roles as husbands and wife, mothers and fathers, son and daughter, or brothers and sisters. So as the member of the family, enjoy life together playing their different roles, they tend to create a common culture. In one video that I watched, yung youngest sibling or youngest member of the family, they allow the youngest member or the child to sit together with the family during mealtime because at this point the child is learning new skills and learning the culture of the family. So this is one way of letting the child understand how the culture runs from generation to generation. So yung involvement ng youngest member of the family during mealtime, the child will be able to understand what are the food preferences of this family. And later on, the child will get accustomed to the culture of the family where he or she belongs. So that is one example of passing the culture from one generation to another. So there have been significant changes in the way people regard the family as a social institution. So according to Friedman, he defines family as two or more persons who are joined together by bonds of sharing and emotional closeness and who identify themselves as being part of the family. So the key point here is that a client's family includes any person that he or she identifies as a family member. So these are the 5 universal characteristics of family. So a family as a social system. Okay, so they are not just confined within the unit. So they are part of a larger group. Small unit and then part of a larger group. A family performs certain basic function. So we are going to discuss this later. A family has a structure. Again, yung different types of family based on structure. Review natin yan when we continue with our discussion for this morning. A family has its own cultural values and rules. So a family moves through stages in its life cycle we will also discuss this. So the key point here is the basic function and task of a family focuses on providing physical health, providing for mental health, socializing its members, reproducing, and providing for economic well-being. Okay, so functions of the family. So what are the functions of the family? Provision of physical needs such as food, shelter, clothing, safety, and healthcare. So it could either be a joint effort for both couples. So the husband will work and the wife will also have her own source of income. Or it will be the father who is working for providing for the family and the wife manages the household. And then we have allocation of resources, careful planning and use of family money, material goods, space, and ability. So again, this depends on the agreement between the husband and the wife. And then we have another function, division of labor, assigning the workload, including responsibility for household income and household management. Usually, itong role na to is assumed by the wife. Not unless meron silang specific arrangement. Like for example, if the wife is going to work, so out of the country, so the husband is there to see to it that the family and the household is managed properly. Again, this depends on the agreement between the husband and the wife. Okay, so kasi sa atin, merong equal responsibility ang husband at saka ang wife. That is our culture. Meron silang, meron tayong tinatawag na egalitarian, di ba? So there is an equality between the husband and the wife. For next function, socialization, this is guiding towards acceptable standards of elimination, food intake, sexual drive, respect for others and their possession, and sense of spirituality. Okay, when we talk about respect, hindi lang basta yung respect for the elderly or the older members in the family. So ito, when we say respect, pati yung rights of the child we have to respect. Diba? So each of us has our own rights. So whether you're a child, you're an adolescent, adult, or elderly, meron tayong kanya-kanyang karapatan and we have to respect those rights. Okay, for reproduction, recruitment, and release, bearing or adopting children, adding new members by marriage, and allowing members to live. So these are part of the developmental stage of a family. Explore natin yan later. So maintenance of order, interaction and communication opportunities, discipline, affection, sexual expression. So this is another function of the family. Next, we have assistance with fitting into the larger society. So community, schools, spiritual center, and organization. So it depends on what organizations they have within the community or even outside the community that the family will be part of this organization. Okay, maintenance of motivation and morale, recognition, affection, encouragement, family loyalty, help in meeting crisis, philosophy of life, spirituality. So these are functions of the family. Okay, again, the objective for today's virtual class is at the end of the discussion, the students will be able to define what a family is, which we already had earlier, but we are going to again review the definition of the family. Understand the different family structures, understand the developmental stage of a family, identify the behaviors of a healthy family. So let us now review the definition we have given about the family. Again, it is a basic unit in society and is shaped by all forces around it. Another definition, it is a unit of interacting persons bound by ties of blood, marriage, or adoption. Constitute a single household, interacts with each other, and in their respective familial roles and create and maintain a common culture. Okay, so yung culture coming from the father's side and culture coming from the mother's side, magkakaroon sila ng blending of this culture and this will be adopted by their children so that they will create and maintain a common culture. So an open and developing system of interacting personalities with structure and process enacted in relationships among the individual members regulated by resources and stressors, and existing within the larger community. The definition was given by Smith and Maurer in 1995. So take a look at the word stressor. So stressors here, kasama yan. So this is part of a family. From the time of marriage up to the time that they have children. So stressors are there. What is important here is the family is able to cope with this stressor. So makaka-adapt sila and be able to find ways on how to deal with stressors that will come their way. So from the time that the couple got married up to the time that they will have children, so they have their plan. But eventually, in between this time, nagkakaroon ng problem, pwedeng minor, pwedeng major. Like for example, additional member in the family where in fact they already have 4 children and another one will come. This is a type of stressor for the family. So it will affect their source of income. Okay, so another thing, if yung provider for the family or the what we call the breadwinner or the one that is providing for the needs of the family got sick, so this is another stressor. Or even one member of the family gets sick, so ito yung mga stressors that we talk about when we discuss yung family. So different stressors. But again, coping mechanism is very important for the family. Another definition by Spradley and Allender in 1996, 2 or more people who live in the same household share a common emotional bond and perform certain interrelated social tasks. So ito yung mga common definitions that we hear when we talk about the family. So basic unit of a society, 2 or more people who live in the same household, sharing resources. So ito yung mga usual definition that we hear about the family. So again, another definition, it is an organization or social institution with continuity from the past, from present, and then future, in which there are certain behaviors in common that affect each other. Okay, we also discussed last meeting the Filipino family and its characteristics. So review lang natin para meron tayong recall about the family because today's VC is the continuation of family health nursing process. So the basic social units of Philippine society are the nuclear family. So when we say nuclear, yung mother, father, and children or child or children. So ito yung nuclear family. Although the basic unit is the nuclear family, the influence of kinship is felt in all segments of social organizations. So family affiliation or yung kamag-anak. Di ba hindi mawawala ang kamag-anak when it comes to family because we are closely knitted. So yung family ties natin, we value. Okay, kaya yung kinship, influence of kinship, hindi mawawala yan pagka when we talk about Filipino family. Extensions of relationships and descent patterns are bilateral. So again, father's side, mother's side, that is an extension of relationship. Okay? Meron nga yung extension pa nga natin ng relationship ay umaabot hanggang sa third cousins. And even beyond, basta minsan nga ka-apelido mo lang eh. Like for example, Cruz, hindi ba ang daming Cruz sa atin? So once you heard the word Cruz, ay relative yan. Even if you do not know yet kung ito ay kamag-anak mo. So because of the family name. So kin group is further enlarged by a filial, spiritual, or ceremonial ties. One example is marriage. So it's not just about the individual or the couple, but it is a family affair. Especially when we go to the province, buong kamag-anak will be there to attend this celebration. Minsan nga meron pang galing ng other country, they will go home just to attend the celebration. They are not after the union of the couple per se, but what they are after is the yung family being reunited again because of this celebration. So yan yung importante for Filipino family. Extended family has a profound effect on daily decisions. If the couple cannot decide for themselves, then they will seek help or assistance from in-laws. So in-laws of husband, in-laws para sa wife. So may ito yung extensions that we call. O kaya naman, yung how they rear yung kanilang children, may effect pa rin ang grandparents. So may say ang grandparents pagdating dito. Children not only have to respect their parents and obey them, but also have to learn to repress their repressive tendencies. So bawal sumagot sa magulang. Okay? So ito yon, isa yan sa characteristics ng Filipino family. We cannot express ourselves when we are young. Okay, so ang characteristic natin is that we obey our parents. Even when we choose programs or courses, hindi ba? Most of the time, yung parents natin ang nasusunod. So kahit na ayaw natin, the parents will be the one sending us to school, so we will obey. And then later on, magkakaroon ng agreement. So I will follow your request, yung decision ng parents, and then later on, if you have obeyed yung parents mo, then meron ka ng chance to follow your dream. So ganon ang ating characteristic as a Filipino family. The older siblings have something of authority of their parents. So if the parents are away or at work, so the older child will be the one who will take over. So your responsibility is passed to the older child. Minsan, madali. Minsan naman, this is a difficult task for the eldest child. Kasi nasa kanya yung responsibility. Now, types of family. So we have according to structure, meron tayong according to decision or authority, and then to location. So we have structure. According to structure, we have nuclear. Again, we already discussed this. So review na lang tayo. So we have a father, mother with child or children living together, but apart from both sets of parents and other relatives. So they have their own household. That's a nuclear family. And then we have extended, composed of 2 or more nuclear families, economically and socially related to each other. And this is multi-generational. So it includes parents ng couple, pwedeng mother side, wife of the side of the wife or side of the husband, or brothers and sisters. So they are living under one roof. Single parent, divorced or separated, unmarried or widowed, male or female, with at least 1 child. Blended or reconstituted, a combination of 2 families with children from both families, and sometimes children of the newly married couple. It is a remarriage with children from previous marriage. Okay, so ito yung mga stepchildren from the husband or stepchildren from the wife, and then they blend or reconstitute. So they live under one household. And then we have the compound, one man, woman with several spouses. Communal, more than one monogamous couple sharing resources. And then we have the live-in or cohabitation. Dyad, husband and wife or other couple living alone without children. Okay, and addition to our types of family, we have the gay, lesbian. So these are homosexual couple living together with or without children. And then we have the no-kin, a group of at least two people sharing a relationship and exchange support who have no legal or blood tie to each other. Okay, foster, substitute family for children whose parents are unable to care for them. So these are types of family according to structure. Then we have according to authority. So we have the patriarchal, full authority on the father or any male member of the family. And then matriarchal, full authority of the mother or any female member of the family. And then egalitarian, husband and wife exercise a more or less amount of authority, or they have equal authority. So father and mother decides. Democratic, everybody is involved in decision making. Autocratic, this relating to a ruler who has absolute power. So it depends on the household if the father is the one in authority or it is the mother who will decide for the family. And then we have the laissez-faire. Every member of the family has the right to raise their concern or their make their decision. So this is laissez-faire. And then we have matricentric. The mother decides, takes charge in absence of the father. So example here is if the father is working overseas. And patricentric, the father decides, takes charge in the absence of the mother. So again, same example if the mother is working overseas. And then we have according to descent or cultural norms, which affiliate a person with a particular group of kinsmen for certain social purposes. So we have patrilineal, affiliates a person with a group of relatives who are related to him through his father. And then we have bilateral, both parents. So again, father's side, mother's side. And then matrilineal, mother's side naman to. Sa lahat ng family members on the mother's side. And then we have, according to residence, patrilocal and matrilocal. So family resides or stays with or near domicile of the parents of the husband, and opposite naman with matrilocal, live near the domicile of the parents of the wife. So ito yung when we talk about residence. So usually kasi kapag yung male ay yung son entered into marriage, yung female, yung wife niya, dinadala niya sa kanyang lugar. So ito kadalasan yung characteristic ng Filipino family. So kung ang anak ko ay babae and mag-aasawa na siya, pupunta siya doon sa lugar ng kanyang husband. So ito yung when we talk about residence. Drink na ako. Okay, so now let's have the functions of the family according to Ackerman. Okay, we already mentioned this earlier, yung ensuring the physical survival of the species, and this is yung physiologic needs. So food, shelter, clothing, so lahat yan. And yung shelter, yes, shelter for the family. Transmitting the culture, thereby ensuring man's humanness. Physical functions of the family are met through parents providing food, clothing, shelter, protection against danger, provision for bodily repairs after fatigue or illness, and through reproduction. And then we have the affectional function. The family is the primary unit in which the child tests his emotional reactions. And then we have social functions, include providing social togetherness, fostering self-esteem, and a personal identity tied to family identity. Again, ito yung culture identified within the family. So they have to create their own culture and then be able to interact with the environment or within a larger group. So the universal function of the family by dude, reproduction. You enter into marriage with a mindset of having children of your own. So for replacement of members of society to perpetuate the human species. So this is one of the functions of the family. Status placement of individual in society. So like for example, kung yung family mo ay nasa upper class, so ito yon. Parang it runs in the family. Or kung yung family mo ay nasa politics, so ito ngayon yung um, function ng family. So to maintain yung inyong status within the community. So ito yung status placement of individual in society. Biological and maintenance of the young and dependent members. Socialization and care of children and social control. These are the universal functions of the family. Okay, so now let's go to the developmental stage of family. Kung ang child meron siyang developmental milestones, meron din ang family. So what are these stages? So this is according to Duval and Miller in 1990. So let's have this first stage, marriage and the family. So this involves merging of values brought into the relationship from the families of orientation. Okay, so this includes adjustments to each other's routines. So again, di ba, two individuals who will live together as couple and tied by marriage. So ito na yung change in their routines. So pwedeng makapag-adjust ang married couple, pwede rin namang it will take time for the adjustment period. So what are these routines? Like sleeping, eating, chores, or other distribution sa responsibilities sa household nila. Okay, so ito yung adjustment period for the newlywed couple. Members work to achieve 3 separate identifiable tasks. So what are these identifiable tasks? Establish a mutually satisfying relationship. Okay, pag sinabi nating relationship, this does not go sa kanila lang as a married couple. Diba? Yung relationship ng wife sa kanyang in-laws and yung relationship ng husband sa kanyang in-laws. So ito ngayon yung they have to establish this mutual satisfying relationship. Learn to relate well to their families of orientation. So yun din yun. Okay? Adaptation is first and foremost what is important for the newlywed couple. Okay, so they have to adapt and understand yung values, beliefs ng bawat isa. Lalo na if you come from different cultures. Okay, so if applicable, engage in reproductive life planning. Again, so this is having children of their own. So again, it is if applicable kasi meron tayong different types of family based on structure. Diba? So meron tayong gay lesbian family, meron tayong dyad type of family. So again, if applicable, then they will start to plan and have their own children. And then we have the stage 2, early childbearing family. So birth or adoption of a first child, which requires economic and social role changes. So the oldest child at this stage is between 2.5 years or 2, yan, ang oldest child, 2.5 years. Okay. And then we have, again, this is the one of the functions of the family, di ba? for reproduction. So, eto na tayo dun sa stage 2. Now we go to stage 3. Family with preschool children. Ang oldest child here is from 2.5 to 6 years old. So, or yung children nila, ito yung age range. This is a busy family because children at this stage demand a great deal of time related to growth and development needs and safety considerations. So yung age ng toddler, ito yung rapid ang growth ng isang child, and at the same time, ito yung the child learns to explore his or her environment, and yung kanilang autonomy is being practiced by the child at this age. So nandun yung what is important here is the anticipatory guidance of the parents or the care provider. Kasi ito nga yung exploration ng child sa kanyang environment. The child learns to run across the room. So pwedeng magkaroon ng accidental bumps, pwedeng mahulog sa stairs if you have stairs, pwedeng mauntog yung ulo sa corner ng table, and so many accidents that could happen if there is no anticipatory guidance from the parents or the care provider. That is why kapag ganitong stage, inaano natin, nilalayo natin yung mga bagay na pwedeng they can crawl or climb. Tapos, nilalagyan natin ng cover yung mga corners ng ating tables para maiwasan yung accident. Kaya ito ay very busy time for the family. So, family with preschool children. And dito na rin nag-start yung kanilang learning. So, they learn how to, they learn the ABCs, they learn how to count numbers, and they learn to draw, identify colors, shapes. So, ito yon sa preschool children. Now, let's go to stage 4, family with school-age children. Parents at this stage have important responsibility of preparing their children to be able to function in a complex world while at the same time maintaining their own satisfying marriage relationship. So this time, yung we will let our children socialize or interact with another group. So hindi na confined within the household yung socialization. So they will now meet new friends, be exposed outside. Okay, so at first, mahirap ito for the child and at the same time for the parents. Kasi yung child magkakaroon siya ng separation anxiety. So being away from the parents and siblings kung meron. So ito yung time na kailangan na niyang mag-explore ng kanyang outside environment.